It's good to be in the house of the Lord. I feel such a sweet presence here.
Hallelujah.
Such a spirit of worship, and I appreciate that. Sometimes when we come to the house of the Lord, and maybe as you said, there's a few families missing, we just kind of take this back seat and go, well, I guess we'll just go through the motions. God can come by and visit.
Yes.
And God has come by and visited.
Amen.
And I appreciate the testimony. I appreciate the way people have got in the service tonight. Sister Ann was getting real close to my message tonight. And we serve a God that provides.
Yes.
Though we may not know what today is going to be or what tomorrow is going to be, as long as we hold on to His hand.
Yes.
Amen.
Really? What else can you ask for?
Really? Yeah.
I'm going to preach. I told my son, asked me on the way here, he said, how long are you going to preach, Dad? I said, an hour and a half. He said, please, no, 30 minutes at max. Well, I probably won't even do that. But I had to worry him a little bit. He was afraid that's really going to take the time. I told him I was a long preacher. In more ways than one. I'm going to preach a real simple story tonight, and hopefully I can help you. Hopefully I can get the message across that God's laid on my heart. Genesis chapter number 8. I'm just going to kind of probably talk a little bit about Genesis 7, 8, maybe a little bit of 9. This is a very familiar story. There's nothing in here that you've not heard many, many times. Sometimes we get complicating the gospel, don't we? Mm-hmm. We make things so complicated and sometimes I've been guilty of that myself. I get to preaching and I realize, hey, there's kids in this house and don't have a clue what I'm talking about. And I think the gospel for everybody.
Yes.
Yes.
Genesis chapter number 8, I'm just going to read the very first verse. And God remembered Noah, every living thing, and all the cattle that was with him in the ark. And God made a wind to pass over the earth, and the waters were silenced. I don't know how you say that word, but it's as close as I can get. But I want you to focus on that first line. And God remembered Noah. If you would you pray for me as I preach the gospel tonight? Heavenly Father, Lord, I can't speak anything in the long house. Lord, I give myself to you that your word would be so through me, God. I know I'm not anything, God, but I know that you have given me a message for this church and for myself. Thank you, Jesus. God, it's your help, God. Oh, hallelujah. God, we praise you.
Yes.
This story of Noah and his ark, or actually Noah and God's ark, because while Noah built it, it wasn't his ark, it was God's ark. Yep. And God protected him through that ark. It's probably one of the most familiar stories. You can ask a child of 3, 4, 5, 6, anywhere the age if they've been in Sunday school any amount of time, tell you the story about Noah's ark, and they're probably going to get at least most of the details right. We know this story. But sometimes in the midst of knowing the Bible stories, we forget the Bible stories.
Come on.
We forget that David was a king, but he was a man just like I am. Yeah. We forget that the people that was in the book of Genesis, they lived a life like we did. They had thoughts like we do. They had feelings like we do. They were human. Yeah. They're just stories in the Bible to us sometimes, but they had real emotions. Right. And if you think about it, and you start reading the Bible from a human point of view, you get to the story of Noah and you go, how do you deal with that as a human? Right. As a person?
Yes.
When you want to talk about God speaking to you, when there's no as far as I know, the Bible doesn't record anyway, God speaking out of heaven to somebody to do something even anywhere similar to this. And really the last time God walked and talked with man was probably Adam and Eve. We of course know about Enoch, but we don't know the situation there. So here Noah is probably one of the only people he's ever heard of that God spoke to like this. And he didn't just say, hey, Noah, I want you to go to church. Right. Noah would have been like, great. Why don't you build a church, Noah? All right, I'll build a church. He didn't even tell him to do that. He said, I want you to build an ark. What's an ark? Well, it's a boat. What's a boat? Well, it's to float. On what? It's never rained. Sometimes we forget as humans. Hopefully I'll get some more of this. Y'all pray for me. We forget that Noah was a human just like we are. Yeah.
All right.
And when Noah built this ark, he obeyed God's command. He listened to the word of God, and he built it. And you know what? He spent the whole
Yeah.
People making fun of him, laughing at him, saying, "Oh, look at this fool." Really, that's what they did. They made fun of him. And here he has his whole family roped into it.
Yep.
And he just begins to obey the word of God.
All right.
All right. Yes.
But we stop when Noah gets into the ark a lot of times. Because truly the ark is a representation of salvation.
All right.
It really is. I mean, judgment's coming on the world, and God puts us into the ark of salvation, into the ark of safety. And we want our family into the ark of safety. It's a representation. We know it is.
Yep.
But do you realize what happened when he got in the ark?
Come on.
The rain fell.
All right.
It started storming.
Yeah.
Now, wait a minute. Brother Jerod, you're telling me that being a Christian isn't a bed of roses? It wasn't for Noah. He was in the ark.
All right.
And it stormed for 40 days.
All right.
Yeah.
And then it floated for 150 days. And then he was, I don't know, one commentator said it would end up being 365 days before he got out of that boat.
Wow. Yeah.
I'm not that good at math. You might add it up and you might come up with that. I don't know how they did it. 365 days in the boat, floating. Whether it was in the storm, whatever, it was the consequences of the storm. Sometimes life, the storm comes. And that's what I want to preach on tonight. I want to preach on after the rain. I want to preach on after the rain.
Come on.
You know, the rain, never seen anything like this before. They'd never heard the thunder roll. They'd never seen the lightning break across the sky. We're from Oklahoma. We stand outside on the porch and watch a tornado roll across. We know what storms are. These people had never even had a clue what this was. And here, for the first time, the greatest storm in anybody's life rolls across the country.
All right.
Come on. Yeah.
You know the first thing it brought with it? It brought a lot of death.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine Noah's state of mind. He knew he was safe. But he looked around at all the wreckage, the storm going on. You can't fool me to think that Noah didn't realize what happened to the people outside.
Yeah.
Right.
You can't fool me to think that Noah didn't understand
Right.
that this storm is affecting people's lives.
Yeah.
And sometimes, even though we're in the house of God and the storm comes to our life, we look around at all the damage that happened, all the storm that passed by, and the things that would happen, and we say, "Lord, why did you let the storm come? Look at all the damage that it caused." And I will not pretend tonight that I can explain every storm. I will not pretend that I can understand why bad things happen to good people, why good things happen to bad people. I don't understand all of God's mechanisms and all God's reasons. But I will tell you, sometimes when you're in the ark and you're looking out, you have to say, there's a lot of bad things going on in this storm.
All right.
Sometimes the wind starts blowing. Sometimes the rain starts falling. Sometimes you don't understand and you look out and say, everything that I've known has been destroyed.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Noah lived a life before he ever got in the boat.
Yes.
He probably had a house.
Yes.
He might have had some cattle, maybe had some sheep. Some say he's 120. I don't know when he started building. I don't really know all the details on his age. I think that's right. That's a lot of time to collect things.
Yeah.
I mean, he had a lot invested.
Yeah.
Gone, just like that.
Yeah.
It reminds me a lot of the story of Job, doesn't it? He spent his whole life, and all of a sudden, the storm came.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, the wind blew, and all he seen around him was death.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something else that the storm brings. I'm going to get to after the rain, and I won't make it an hour and a half, Eli. But the storm also brings a lot of waiting.
Yeah.
A lot of waiting. Sometimes the storm starts coming our way, and we go, I don't understand, Lord, why you're sending me through this. I don't know why I'm going down this road.
Let's see God.
And the hardest answer sometimes for us to accept is God saying, wait. Sometimes, I'll be honest with you, if God would just tell me, no, I feel like it'd be a lot easier than Him telling me to wait.
Yeah.
Noah, in a stinking, nasty, come on, you all know this is a boat, right? And how many animals is on this boat?
Yeah.
2 of many kinds and 7 of a whole bunch more. Don't tell me that boat didn't stink.
That's right.
He was tired of the sound. He was tired of the smell. He was tired of the ship. He was tired of the swaying back and forth. He was sick. And if 40 days. And the last raindrop fell. And then he waited 150 days.
Praise God.
Yeah.
That's the hardest part sometimes about the storm, is waiting.
All right.
What was he waiting on? He's waiting on the waters to subside. He's waiting on things to calm back down. The rain wasn't falling anymore. He wasn't in the middle of the storm. I felt that way a lot of times in my life. The storm comes through and it seems like it ravages everything I've worked for. I don't know why I'm going through this. I don't know why I'm going through this situation.
Blessing God.
Yeah.
All right, the storm's over. All right, now, God, what are you going to do in my life? I'm going to let you wait.
Come on.
Lord, I don't understand. Didn't tell you to understand. I told you to wait.
Yeah.
And I feel like, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be honest with you, this message is for me tonight. But I feel like it's for maybe some other people here tonight. Maybe you've been going through the storm, and you say, I don't understand why things have been going wrong and going wrong and going wrong, and now maybe I just got to where I got my head above water, and God's just saying, just wait. I've waited 10 days, 20 days, 50 days. I hope you don't have to wait 150 days like Noah did. I hope I don't have to wait 150 days. But God just told him, just wait. Can you imagine if it was a year for 365 days of not having anything solid to stand on? I understand sea legs. I mean, they say if you go on a cruise, I've never been on one, but they say if you go on a cruise, it takes you a little while to get your sea legs under you. I've been on an airplane, and I am ready. I enjoy it. I do. I enjoy that plane taking off. I enjoy landing. But I enjoy getting my feet back on solid ground.
Yes.
I might fall down, but it's still a long way, but as far as it is from up there. You know what, Noah? Can you imagine 365 days of never having sure footing? That's what I feel like. This is one of the things I felt like when I studied for this message. I feel like some people maybe sit in this church house that feel like they've been walking on a boat for the past year.
All right. Let's
Just swaying back and forth. Lord, would you please let things just settle down a little bit?
Come on.
Come on, yeah.
Praise God.
Yeah. Noah spent 365 days on a boat with no solid ground to put his feet on. And not only was he on his boat, but he was in a tight, dark spot. I know it was a big boat, but it was full.
Yeah.
Sometimes I've got an 8-year-old boy who loves to talk. He will talk your ear off. And sometimes it's really hard to find a nice, quiet spot. If you got kids, you had kids, you know what I'm talking about. Sometimes I like to get on the mower, put on them headsets, and go mow because it's quiet. You know, Noah probably felt the same way sometimes. Sometimes we get out there and we say, Lord, you just mentioned this a few minutes ago, Lord, I'd really like to pray. But you can hear the sounds of the ship. You can hear the wind blowing, if you want to say it. You can hear the creaking of that wood ship as it just rocked back and forth. The braying of the cows, the clucking of the chickens. Imagine, if you will, what it would sound like in that menagerie, a circus. Can't even fathom. And he was confined.
Yeah.
And we feel that way sometimes, don't we? We feel like we're just going in circles in the same little spot. Over and over and over and over and over again. I try to get over here in this corner, and all I can hear is this. Oh, I'll go over this corner. I'd like to think Noah had his favorite spot to pray. Maybe that's why he opened that window, because that was his favorite spot. He could just see a little bit of crack of light out that window as we go get over that little circle of light. Just maybe a little bit of fresh air would come in right there. That's where he get to pray. I felt like that in my prayer life sometimes, that I'm over against the wall in a crowded ship with a whole vast circus of animals on it, and I'm just trying to get a fresh breath of air and trying to get a quiet place where I can talk to God. If you feel that way, let me tell you something, you're not alone. There's a man who went through the same thing. And then Genesis 8. And God remembered Noah.
Praise God.
God didn't forget Noah. I want you to understand that. But God put him in the center of his attention.
All right.
God knew exactly where he's at the whole time. I think we understand that. But God said, all right, Noah, this is your time. God remembered Noah. And the waters returned. The rain went away. The clouds went away. The storm went away. And the first thing is he was remembered. And if you notice, the next thing that happened is the boat rested on the mountain. Well, that feeling when you've been floating on the boat for 365 days and you hear crunch, and all of a sudden the boat doesn't rock anymore.
Yeah. Come on.
I think there's somebody in this place tonight, and maybe just me, who says, you know what? What I would really like to have in this service is that boat land, and I'm not feeling like I'm walking on a moving ship all the time.
Yes.
Come on.
I just like it to rest
Come on.
for a little while. I just like it to take a solid seat
Come
where I
on.
don't feel like I'm just going back and forth. And then he opened that window. Of course, we know he let out the raven, then he let out another raven, and he let out that dove. And it didn't come back. First time it came back with the olive branch, I believe it was, and he let it out and it didn't come back. And the hope that sprang in Noah's heart. One of the things that comes after the rain is hope. Hope springs when the storm goes away, and all of a sudden you have it now, you say, there's an opportunity. Now God's given us a chance.
Yeah.
The storm's gone.
Come on.
There's some hope coming.
Yes.
Last few things and I'll be done. I like what Noah did. Noah, after going through the storm, after struggling with a stinky ship, with struggling with a moving ship, with his struggling with a storm that he could not control, and waiting and waiting and waiting. When he hit the ground, you know what he did? He worshiped.
Praise
Yes.
God.
Let me tell you what's coming after the storm. You may spend some time waiting on God to let the water roll back. You might spend some time feeling like you don't know where you're going. And you don't understand why it keeps moving under you. But one of these days, the boat's going to grind to a halt. And that door is going to open up.
All right.
And
Thank
you're
you, Lord.
going to be able to worship God.
Yeah.
Praise
It is a promise in
Hallelujah.
God's Word.
Yes.
And you know what? The final thing is, he said, God said, Noah, I want to make one more promise to you. Every time you look in the sky, there's going to be a rainbow in the sky that promises it won't happen again.
All right.
And I feel like that's probably what I need to hear tonight. That's probably what some of you need to hear tonight. Is yes, it might be a storm today. Maybe the rain's blowing. Maybe the ship is shaking. Maybe you don't know where you're going to end up. But there is an end to the storm. There is an end to the rain. That after the rain, there's a time of worship. After the rain, there is a promise that it's going to go away.
Hallelujah.
We here in Oklahoma have a great opportunity. Yes, we see the storms. We see their damage. We see the winds. We see all the problems. But we've also seen the rainbow in the sky.
Yes.
And we know
Oh, hallelujah.
that as soon as the storm comes, there's going to be a time that the storm is gone.
All right.
We know that in this natural life, but sometimes in this spiritual life, we forget that after the rain, there's a promise. After the rain, there's hope.
Yes.
Yes.
So I don't know, maybe like I said, maybe this message is just for me. But I feel like it's probably for some of us sitting here in these pews. I don't know what you're going through. I don't know your storm. But there's a promise after the storm. There's a promise after the rain. There's hope after the rain. If you can just hold on and wait for the end. Let's come and pray and seek the Lord.
Praise God.